Social Security payments are likely to get a sizable increase. Just how much of an increase could you anticipate? And how are cost of living adjustments determined? That is the subject of this video. Welcome to another episode of the Financial Fast Lane. My name is Lane Martinson. If you're new to this channel, we discuss retirement planning topics, specifically for those age 50 and over. Now, Social Security was designed to keep up with inflation. And so it has a COLA, a cost of living adjustment. And it is based on inflation and based on the Consumer Price Index. So now, prior to 1975, every cost of living adjustment actually required an act of Congress to approve it. Since 1975, the COLA adjustments are automatic, and they're based on a specific Consumer Price Index, which I'm going to explain. But first, let's take a look at some history and some past increases or past adjustments. So if we go back to 1975, this was a very inflationary time, right? We had a full 8% cost of living adjustment to Social Security benefits. 1976, 6.4, we had a 5.9, 6.5, 9.9. In 1980, we had the largest increase ever of 14.3%. And if you can remember 1980 and 1981, what those years were like, inflation and interest rates were very high. The average for these 10 years is about 7.5%. If we take a look at the next 20 years, the inflation slowed down a lot, and the average was about 2.9 over the next 20 years. Now, from 2005 to 2014, well, in 2008 we had the financial crisis, and so in 2009, 2010 we actually had deflation, and so there was no increases in the Social Security payments those years. And if we take a look at the last 6 years, 2015 was a zero, 2016 was close to zero. We average that out, 1.3% is what it has increased over the last 6 years. So the question is, what increase are we going to see for 2021? And for everything that we can see, it looks like this will probably be one of the biggest increases over the last decade, for sure. What will it be? We don't know yet, but I'll show you how it's going to be determined. So there are different consumer price indexes. The one that is used for Social Security is the CPIW. It's the Urban Wage Earners and Clerical Workers. Now this is the index that has been used since 1975. But it really looks at people who are age under 62. So it's not maybe necessarily the best index to use for people who are on Social Security benefits. And so, but first, and I'm going to tell you about some of these other possible indexes that it could be switched to. But first, the CPIW, this is how it's weighted. We have 15% of the cost of food, 10% energy, 31% housing, apparel only 3%, transportation 6%, and medical 11%, and then all other at 24%. So this is what determines whether Social Security benefit will be increased or not. Now, in 1987, Congress asked the Bureau of Labor and Statistics to create an index that was more specific to elderly people. It's the CPIE. And so it tracks more the spending habits of those who are over age 62. And so the idea is that would be a better index to reflect true inflation for people who are retired or over 62. It's only been experimental. It has not been put into place. It is an index that could replace the CPIW. But as of now, that has not happened. But it is a future possibility. Another index that could possibly be used in the future is the CPIU. It's also called the chained CPI. So this index tends to track more of the spending habits. So if there's inflation, and that inflation changes the people's spending habits, it reflects some of those changes. And so it has the potential to have lower cost of living adjustments than maybe the CPIW or the CPIE would. But going right to the website of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, they show us what's going on here, and we can look at this on a month-by-month basis. In April, we had the biggest increase in easily a decade for 1 month. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to have a 4.7% cost of living adjustment, because it has not yet been determined. It's going to be based off of what we have in July, August, and September. And so it's the third quarter of the year. Whatever that averages out to be is what will be the cost of living adjustment for the next year, in this case 2022. Now, if you'd like to track and see exactly what the index comes in with here on a month-by-month basis, I'm going to provide the link in the description below where you can just click and it'll take you right to this screen, and you can see exactly as the numbers come in. Now, if you are pre-retirement and you have not yet started your Social Security benefits, I would highly recommend another video where I discuss the best age to file, and so you understand the strategies behind that. And also there's a video on how your Social Security benefits may or may not be taxed in retirement. So they'll be linked here at the end. I hope you found this video educational, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.